Good morning, boys and girls. Monday morning, 11th of May. It's about 18 past the hour. We've got just over 10 minutes till market open. So let's get to marking things off and cleaning up the charts a little bit. Okay. Take a look what we've come to here. Get something akin to all-time highs here. Let's get into the 5-minute where it's a little easier to see. There we go. So Friday's session was quite a move, obviously. We did pretty good that day. Um, Once we get this chart cleared up, we'll take a look at what just clear some drawings here that we don't need. I don't know what this is for, so we'll get rid of that. That didn't get cleared. And that didn't get cleared. Okay, and that didn't get cleared. So okay, looking pretty good so far. Let's get our 5-minute worked out here, and then we'll talk about what's going on today. Okay, looks like we might have a bearish SMT going. My initial reaction is we had a gap here that did get filled. We had a big drop, move up, a little bit of drop, move up, a little bit of sideways, but we've got what looks like a big bearish SMT happening. So I'm thinking we're probably going to be looking at something moving toward the lows. We'll see if we get a move up. Looks like pre-market, we had our move down already, so we might already have our move down and our move back up. But let's get things marked off, and um, we'll definitely see what we look into there. We've got a very interesting. Whoops. There we go. Okay, that one got taken out, but we will look at what the 1 hour looks like down here. So I'm going to go ahead and mark this anyway, even though it got taken out. Actually, no. I'm gonna leave that, and we'll put this one in now. All right. What else we got? We got London. Yeah, it looks like London got taken out on both of these, but I'm still gonna mark them because I think it's important to know what those levels are going into opening bell. All right, let's go to our 1 hour here and see what we got. All right, so our 1 hour is showing there's definitely a lot of sideways. Looks like we got a break of structure on the 1 hour. On the S&P, with it looking like it's going to head down, we don't quite have that break of structure on the on the NASDAQ, but we do have what pretty much amounts to an hourly low there. Low and a high is a low. Okay, we got that low. Low and a high is a low, so we need this one. Low and a high is a low. Low and a high is a low, so we have this one. We have that gap, so there's obviously this and then this. Okay, so those are the other areas. We have a high and a low as a high, so we have an hourly high right here as well. So, all right, so we got some targets in both directions. We got all-time highs on NASDAQ. We've got, do we have all-time highs? Yes, we do. We have all-time highs on NASDAQ. We've got all-time highs up here, possible targets for a for bullish market action. But right now on the hourly, we're looking at a bearish, and we have a bearish SMT that formed, showing us bearish market structure. Although we are still bullish on the 4-hour. Oh, excuse me. Whew, goodness gracious. That was loud. Sorry about that, guys. And we're still bullish on the 4-hour on both, with big gaps to fill. So, given that we are looking somewhat bearish-esque on the 1-hour and a little bit bearish on the 5-minute, I'm thinking today might be a pullback day, but not a full bear day. I mean, maybe a bearish day as far as a pullback is concerned, but not overall bearish. We have a big 4-hour gap to fill here, big 4-hour gap to fill here. As far as fair value gap, that would have to inverse, and again have to inverse to make any significant moves for a move downward. We don't have a break of structure on these yet at all. So looks like we could be ending up toward that, but for right now, I'm not seeing that happening. I would say we're probably looking somewhat bullish in the long term, but for today, I'm going to take a slightly more bearish approach, unless, of course, the way the markets have been going, they've been going pretty nutty. So we could very well experience a we very well could experience a very bullish day today as well. So let's just take a look at some of these other things going on here. See what we got in the way of. I'm gonna take 15-minute on these as well. This is going to be a little easier to read here. A lot of chop. So this is just going to be one of those deals where we're not really not going to really be getting too overly excited about what's happening today in opening range. This fair value gap on the 15 has been tested but not broken, not inversed. We'll probably see a test of the lows. I think I want to see a retest of these lows because I don't think these are fully exhausted. and then a move upwards, but it could shoot up immediately and then curl down as well. So this is pretty sideways looking action right here. So got about a minute to market open. Yeah, we got a pretty tight looking range here. Yeah, this is going to be a waited out. Okay, market open. Let's see if we get a liquidity sweep down below London, headed toward Asia, especially on NASDAQ. Okay, it looks like the move is going to be for sweeping out the uh, the highs. They seem to be moving pretty much in tandem today, which is nice. Last week, there were quite a few days last week where they seemed to be going in opposite directions at market open, or at least not as much in sync as they seem to, today, right now. Okay, so we've got London highs on NASDAQ taken out already. Moving to Asia highs and all time, just tagging. And then London highs just about on S&P. Price movements very volatile this morning. We're only 3 minutes into market open, and we've already moved the near entirety of the range of London with another surge. So this is crazy. Heading pretty parabolic already. Okay, tagging all-time highs. Let's see if we're continuing up. We really are going to have to wait for this candle to close to see what happens with the next. We could very well continue higher as S&P looks to take out all-time highs from New York session, as well as some hourly highs. Okay, so clearly we've broken an uptrend. Um, First 5 minute candle, break of structure. We've also surpassed all fair value gaps. So we're clearly in bullish market structure right now. But at the same time, we've also um, had our liquidity sweep above all-time highs on NASDAQ and definitely above London session. Didn't quite make it to the hourly highs. Now we're showing some reversal. So this is a very interesting up and down candle sweep. So we're definitely going to sit and watch on this one. There's so much volatility. I'm not necessarily seeing anything where I can create any predictability here. Mostly just wild guesses at this point. So until I see what looks like a good setup, I don't think I'm in a position to speculate on where I see market price going at this moment. Generally speaking, all indications are is that we're going to move higher. When, how, and by how much is still a complete guessing game. We'll just have to let these candles play out. We have shown a fair value gap here, so if this holds, and then we can then begin to look at respecting the fair value gap and moving higher, uh, or possible inverse with a move lower. Because right now, as far as we're concerned, the way it looks on the 1 hour, it's just a wick. Yeah, so you can just see that it wicked up and came back down. And that's going to be true of S&P as well. But we are looking a little more promising, at least during the hour, unless this begins to turn down by in the next 20 minutes, then this would be considered a break of structure moving upward. So we'll keep an eye on it. But for now, we look like we have our market manipulation. So, and we can see that right now it's starting to stabilize a little bit. Price is moving a little more, or I should say a little less radically. Very interesting opening bell move, though. I guess while we're at it, let's take a look at the calendar and see if there was any news that was popping up for today. Nope. Nope. No significant crazy news at all, in fact. At least nothing planned. So, unless Trump is tweeting something or there's some global development, think we might want to take out New York highs before going any further. I think S&P wants these highs and then maybe a move down, but okay. Now we're starting to see a little divergence here. Nasdaq hanging out down in the previous London range, whereas S&P wants to push for New York highs. So we got ourselves a little bit of a bearish SMT forming here. We might have equilibrium. That might be another play too, coming down here, floating around equilibrium. If we get up above here and fill this value gap on the 1 minute, I think we're pretty strong for heading higher. Might be good. Take a long right there. S&P certainly feels like it wants to. S&P really wanting to push. Nasdaq showing bearish SMT though. So that does have me a little nervous. That's why we're going to wait until we push past this value gap. If we If we inverse this value gap, then we're looking good for a long. We'll inverse the value gap, check out a couple candles, see if we get a little bit of a retrace, and then look for a move up. S&P just wants to take off. Might be waiting for another pullback. Just keep my hand off the button here. Nasdaq's just going crazy. That's a nice looking flag too. All right. I think S&P would have been the one to take the trade on because Nasdaq doesn't seem to be wanting to move, but I get the feeling Nasdaq will make its move a little later on here. You just got to figure out which way it wants to go. We have a break of structure and an inverse of a value gap on the 1 minute. Question is, if this forms a value gap here, are we still going to curl down? Because everything is sitting right here at these levels. S&P just keeps wanting to push higher. Let's see if we get a break of structure on the 5-minute here. We're hanging out in bearish territory now. We have a lower high. Now we got to see if we get a lower low. If we get a break of structure on the 5-minute, we'll start looking at whether or not we're going to break this value gap and then head down. We could just be testing for a move higher. Want Got about a minute left on the 5-minute candle. And then on the 1-minute, if we break down below here, then I think we're pushing it right now. The question is, do we close down below that and have break of structure? In which case we could probably take a short. Okay. Break of structure. Let's start looking at possibility for a short now. I want to wait for a slight retrace here. Something tells me we're going to see a retrace before it pops back down. There we go. I want to see this gap get respected, and then we can take a short. I just need it to move a little higher first because that stop is up there. All right, I'm going to take the short.
Order filled.
I don't know if that was a smart move. I think I got in the wrong spot, but we'll see. I think we see this popping back up before it comes down. If we inverse that gap, then I've got to get out. I'll be stopped out. I'm hoping not. I think I just got in at a bad spot, but testing the gap. I think our target is going to be London lows or the hourly lows. I guess the real tell here is going to be is if we inverse this next gap, it's wanting to respect it, which makes me think that we're probably going to head higher. So if we do, I'm going to have to make my stop at the top there because that means we're heading higher. Yeah, shit, I'm going to get stopped out. The S&P is flagging, so I mean that I think we've made our move down as far as we're going to on Nasdaq, and we're probably going to be heading back up. I still would like to see Nasdaq tagging London lows, but something tells me that's probably not going to happen. Okay. Yeah, we're getting out of it now. So, all right, I'm stopped out.
Order filled.
Damn it. What am I doing, man?
Order filled.
All right. We're just going to take this because I think just took a long here. We had a slight pullback. And we should see this popping. Nope. I'm going to get stopped out.
Order filled.
Ah, man. Got stopped out on max loss, guys. All right. Done for the day. Nothing left to do here. So that's it. And we're going to pick it up again tomorrow.